Hello, RWorld, and welcome back to another episode of RWorldTalk. Today, we have Paloma Villicana from Fox 5 Las Vegas. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Super excited to be here.
Not as excited as I am. I promise you that. Paloma, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started?
Yeah, so I'm a sports broadcaster in Las Vegas, which is one of the best cities in the world right now. We just had Super Bowl 58, and I cover all the teams in Las Vegas, and it is nonstop in that city. So it's been really fun to see Las Vegas grow. I'm originally from San Diego, so I'm loving the weather here in Florida.
Okay.
Las Vegas has been so much fun as a sports broadcaster, covering all the teams out there with the Golden Knights and the Aces and all the championships. And we have a baseball team, the A's, coming into town. So it's growing so fast. So it's been fun to be a part of history in Las Vegas as a sports broadcaster.
Yeah, last time I was in Vegas, the Aces had just won their title, and the city was abuzz about all the great things that were happening, and certainly you guys are racking up some championships.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to cover the Aces. They've won 2 championships since I've been there, so back-to-back champions. And the Golden Knights won the NHL Stanley Cup last summer, and now the Raiders have a new head coach, so we'll see what happens with them. And it's booming in Las Vegas, and everyone wants to move there and have their parties there and have everything there. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we actually have Bright Line train system that is running up the coast here in South Florida that now takes us from Miami all the way to Orlando. And when we had a Bright Line episode of the Bright Line podcast, they were talking about the possibility of a Bright Line rail system going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. So that was going to be like super fast, all solar powered, like totally off the grid. I thought that was a really cool concept.
Yeah.
So you recently spoke at our Women Rock the Biz event in Delray at Throw Social. Let's talk about that for a little while. In your opinion, why do you think it is so essential for women to break out of their shells and their comfort zones in business? And do you have a history, a little story of your own in life where you felt inspired to do just that? Because you're now a sports broadcaster, so that was something that traditionally was a male-dominated field. So you're already making waves.
I think it's fun to challenge yourself, try something new. Get out of your comfort zone, like I'm doing right now today in Florida. I've never been to Fort Lauderdale and in this area, so this is something new that I'm doing, and it's definitely fun to break out of my shell, to meet new people, to go to new cities. I think that's how you learn and grow and challenge yourself. Sure. I do work around some people that are kind of just stuck in their ways, and why not be diverse and do multiple different jobs and wear multiple different hats and travel as much as you can and meet new people. That's definitely been what I really enjoy about being a sports broadcaster is I'm in a new city almost every other night covering games.
Very cool.
So yeah, I do travel a lot for work, but I think it kind of has always been instilled in me to chase your dreams and don't settle. I had an opportunity. I went to Texas Christian University in Dallas, and graduating college, I was like, I want to live in Dallas for my entire life, and get married, have a family, live here, and it's a beautiful city.
Sure.
But a few months after graduation, I was like, okay, I need to go. I need to go because I'm comfortable here, and I love it here, and it's nice and everything. But I really wanted to chase my dreams of being a sports broadcaster. So. My first job out of college, I actually moved out to West Virginia, a place I've never been. I didn't know a single person out there, but I was covering WV football, Virginia Tech football, the different teams out there. So I want to say from the start of my career, I really took on a challenge where I moved somewhere I didn't know a single person there and started a new career where I didn't know a single person at my job. But that has really kind of just been the path of my life, is moving and starting new things, meeting new people. And now I have a network of friends all over the country. So it's been awesome. It's been awesome. But for women, I really pride myself on working hard and challenging yourself and trying new things and getting out of your comfort zone. And if you're really good at something, go try something else and be really good at that too. So in Las Vegas, I'm surrounded by champions with the Aces and a lot of amazing women in Las Vegas. So they inspire me to go out there and work hard too.
So I'm hearing that you're a little bit of an introvert, right? I'm kidding.
I'm like, yes, especially on this podcast, for sure.
You've obviously had some tremendous success covering the sports world. Things are certainly changing, and we're seeing more opportunities for women to have a platform and spotlight. But historically, sports have been viewed as a man's world. So do you find yourself facing any adversity in your field? And if so, how do you overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely still the only woman in a lot of places, on the plane, on the bus, at games. Sometimes it's hard for me to find a bathroom at my game.
Oh no!
Because I'm in a men's locker room, and at a game, I'm underneath the stadium.
I bet you a lot of people never crosses their mind. No,
I can't find a bathroom.
No, I never would have thought of that, but it makes total sense.
So that is just something that's like, wow, it's 2024. We're advocating so much for women to be everywhere, involved more in sports and business and everywhere. Yet I still find myself as the only woman in places sometimes. And hopefully that changes soon. I mean, I want more women alongside me, and I want more women, in the meeting rooms and in the locker rooms, and everything with me. So it's definitely still a man's world for sure. But that is why I really take pride in the women I work with in Las Vegas. The Raiders team president, Sandra Douglas Morgan, she really inspires me. She's the first female Black president in the NFL, which is just amazing.
Very cool.
And the Aces, they have a lot of great women over there too. But it's so amazing that Las Vegas is a really strong community. So the men I do work with are amazing people, and they, take me in like family when I'm traveling with UNLV football and UNLV men's basketball. And so I'm around men all the time. But so when I do see other women, it's almost like exciting, celebratory. I got to go hug them and let them know that they're doing a good job.
And you made it too.
Yeah, because we all need that support. We all need that support. Everyone's working hard. Everyone's tired. So if I come across a friend or, someone that I know, I have to tell them, hey, good job. You're doing a good job. You're killing it.
Right.
Because, we're putting in a lot of work here in our careers. So
lift each other up.
Yes.
Right on. Okay. So let's talk about a little bit of advice for younger women that may be starting their careers in real estate. So roughly 62% of women make up the nationwide realtor demographic. So do you have any advice for younger women as they work to advance their careers in real estate? And I assume it would be in any field. You'd certainly be able to help people because you've had to face some adversity and overcome some things in order to get to the places that you're in now. So what kind of advice do you have for those younger women? Any tips on work balance or strategy in order to sort of break some barriers?
Yeah, what's really helped me is my attitude.
Which is a fantastic attitude, by the way.
How you show up to work is how your day is going to go.
Okay.
How you talk to people, how you treat people, that's how your day, how your life is going to go.
Right.
If you have a bad attitude to start the day, if you're driving to work and you're already in a bad mood and you walk into the office and you're already in a bad mood, nothing great is going to go for you that day. And, I put in a lot of hours, late nights because of my games, early mornings because I'm in the studio. So I tend to work a lot. I'm kind of a workaholic, but I love what I do. And I'm so thankful. And, it's a privilege to be on this podcast. It's a privilege to be here in Florida. And if you attack the day with a thankful mind, a thankful attitude, especially early in your career, I know how ambitious, how hungry you are to, continue to, work up your career. But you kind of have to pause and reflect and be like, this is amazing that I get to start off my career and work in the industry that I want to and be surrounded by amazing people. And I know when I was in college, getting out of college, I was just so hungry to get my foot in the door, just so hungry. But what has helped me is just being a good person, treating other people like how I want to be treated. And another thing is just like, the best people that I have worked with are hardworking, humble, inspiring, ready to put their sleeves up and get to work, low ego. I thrive off people who are, have a really good attitude, work really hard, really passionate about what they do. And that's in any field, really, that's in any field. So
follow the golden rule.
Yeah, having a good attitude is going to get you really far in life.
I love that you said low ego, because it in the real estate world, there's a lot of people that are always trying to compete for business. But I think one of the biggest takeaways for anybody, keep that ego down and know that you're going to collaborate and cooperate a lot more than you're going to compete with your colleagues.
Right.
And just as long as you're creating meaningful relationships where people know that you don't have an attitude and you're willing to help one another, you're going to have a way better career, and it's going to be a heck of a lot more fun to go to work every day.
Yeah, and you are a part of a community.
Absolutely.
You're a big part of your community, your city, your neighborhood. And, you catch more honey with bees, or you catch more, whatever that saying is.
More bees with honey than vinegar.
More bees with honey than vinegar, because guess what? You are a part of the community. And, when you go to the grocery store, you're pumping your gas, you want people to come up to you and talk to you and approach you and tell you good job. Or it could be the other situation, it could be the other way around. So, it's definitely great to have a good attitude.
Awesome. Good to hear. So you've worked with some ultra high profile teams like the Dallas Cowboys, obviously, super cool. And even worked alongside arguably the greatest coach ever. David Searle's going to like this one. Coach Nick Saban.
Yes.
So what did you learn from Coach Saban, and how was that experience? David, who I'm mentioning right now, is our current association president, and he's right now screaming "Roll Tide" in his car. I'm like, absolutely, I know he is.
Oh, yeah. Alabama was a lot of fun. Obviously, the titles, kind of that championship culture has really rubbed off on me. Just the way, and honestly, I kind of bring it into work with me, just the way you attack your day, your work ethic, your mentality of going out. I mean, obviously, I'm not winning championships with a team, but why not win a championship every day? That's kind of my mentality. And what I learned from Nick Saban is, his standard is so high that it'll weed you out. I mean, whether you are, a reporter or a coach or a player or a trainer or a staff member, his standard is so high that, as soon as you walk into the room, you already kind of feel a different presence of, okay, I got to take this seriously. We got to take this job seriously. We got to take this interview seriously. We got to take this practice seriously, etc. So I would say Nick Saban's championship culture has kind of rubbed off on me, and you've seen it with his players all going to the league and all the coaches that he's produced at Georgia and Ole Miss. They've gone on to have successful careers. So Nick Saban has helped me have a successful career for sure. And then bringing that to Las Vegas, kind of that SEC culture, it's just a different culture of the pageantry and the work ethic, I would say, in the SEC is like none other. And so I've brought that to Las Vegas. And then UNLV football, their head coach, Barry Odom, he's coming from Missouri and Arkansas. So he has a little bit of that SEC culture. And we do a show together in Vegas called the Rev Zone. So we kind of have two former SEC talent in the house. So, but I definitely pick up, a lot from every coach that I work with. And that's what I love about my job is I learn so much from other people, their journeys, their career, how many cities they've lived in. I work with a lot of basketball players that played overseas, coached overseas. So I love that I'm kind of like a sponge in my world, in my industry, taking everything in from people that have been all over the world. So it's a lot of fun.
So where did this love for sports come from?
Yeah. So growing up in San Diego, my dad played football. He coached football. He played at San Diego State, and we grew up in a big football house. So Saturdays and Sundays, I'm watching every single game with my dad. We went to a lot of Chargers games. So grew up loving football. My high school in San Diego, Poway High School, was a big football powerhouse too.
Okay.
And then my senior year of high school, I interned as a sports intern at a news station in San Diego. So my senior year of high school, I was already on the sidelines interviewing the Chargers and interviewing the Padres.
Cool.
So before I even got to college, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Nice.
So kind of just been passionate about it since I was a little kid, and it's definitely grown. I mean, I'm more passionate now than I was, in college or getting my career started. And I'm so blessed to meet so many amazing people in this industry too, that I've kind of branched out to, entertainment and music and real estate. And so It's been so much fun. I really feel like I'm not just a sports reporter. I'm a community member. I'm part of the community in Las Vegas. I love to go to different restaurants and shows and try and meet as many people as I can because I just want to make friends.
Nice. Okay.
Very friendly.
There's that introvert coming out again.
That is so cool. Quick funny story. I actually, until I was in high school, raised by a single mom, and my love and passion for football actually came from my mother and my grandmother.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's amazing. That's great.
It's different. It's completely different. But yeah, I was raised in Buffalo, New York. So they call Buffalo a drinking town with a football problem. Yeah. So the love for the Bills.
Off tables and stuff.
You know what? I probably would have if I was a few years younger. Yeah, I've seen some friends of mine do it, and I've seen what's happened to them, and it didn't look fun. I'm like, every time
snowing and
every time the Bills play in Miami and we go to the game, and people are like, "Hey, you're gonna jump through the table off the back of your truck?" I'm like, "You could not pay me enough to do that." I just, I don't think I drank enough to do that. Actually,
oh my gosh, that's too funny.
So to get back to it, obviously having fans and cheerleaders in your corner is absolutely essential in life. So people that can build and lift you up. So how vital is that for you, and where do you find your support system in business?
Yeah, so I travel a lot, I work a lot, have a kind of a busy lifestyle. And it's so funny you asked that because my support system tells me that I need to slow down and take a day off and go to a spa.
You hate hearing that?
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I love the grind. I mean, I love it. It's so much fun. Like we just wrapped up the Super Bowl and that was 7 days of just interviews, events, parties. I'm like, I love this. I could do this all the time. But my mom is my biggest supporter. She calls herself Kris Jenner because she's my agent type of mom,
nice.
Like the Kardashians' mom.
Yep.
She always texts me like 10%. She's my rock. She's my rock. She lives with me in Las Vegas. And I actually moved her out to Las Vegas because I do need help. I do need someone to go to Target for me and, pick up, groceries and things. So I think something I've learned is, you can't do it by yourself. You want to take everything on, but it's kind of not healthy. You do need that help. You do
delegate
need support.
Responsibility.
Absolutely. And, you do need to slow down sometimes, take a breath, slow down. I know when I'm exhausted, it's not my best work. When I'm sleep deprived, when I'm running on empty, when I haven't eaten all day, that's not my best work. So my mom...
You sound like a realtor.
Yeah. My mom
I haven't eaten. I was sleep deprived. I'm overworked.
Yeah. So my mom is, she's a good support system of being like, get home, get some rest, sleep, take a day off. So we all need that. We all need that for sure.
Absolutely. So our association prides itself on fostering and growing leaders. So when we look for women to serve in leadership roles, and I should even say women, when we look for anyone to be serving in leadership roles, what are some key characteristics that we should be looking for?
Yeah. I think like we mentioned, low ego, you are a part of the community, you are a part of this city, you are a part of your neighborhood,
right?
And you represent your community, you represent the city you work in. When you take your kids to school, when you're at the grocery store, wherever you are, If you want to be a part of a community, you do need to be a good leader in your community.
Right.
Just because I'm on air doesn't mean that when I get off air, I'm a completely different person. Like, this is who I am. If you see me at Trader Joe's or wherever,
right.
like how I am on TV is how I am if we sit down and get coffee. So I think that's really important. Someone who's just hardworking, a good person, like we mentioned,
I'm hearing genuine in what you're saying.
Genuine. Yeah, genuine.
Be the real you.
That's a good a characteristic, genuine. I really respect the Raiders head coach. He was an interim head coach, Antonio Pierce, and now he's the head coach of the Raiders. And from the very first day he was named interim head coach, he came up to the podium and was like, "This is me. This is me. I'm a coach. I'm a hard worker. I'm from Compton, California, so I got the Raiders blood in me." And we were all just blown away because it wasn't fake. And he was truly himself, being genuine, being authentic. And he's like, "This is me. This is how I talk. This is how I act. This is how I coach. This is how I'm going to coach." And that was the first day we met him. And throughout, the past couple months, every time I've interviewed him, he's the same guy. And I love that. I love that, whether you're at work or whether you're at home or whether you're in the neighborhood or whether you're at the gym, you are going to be that same person,
right.
Whether you're, selling a house or, wherever you are, you want people to call you, to text you, to, grab coffee with you.
Sure.
That's the kind of person that I want to work with. I want to be friends with. And someone that's just, willing to work really hard too. We talk about that passion of doing your best work and making sure you're getting sleep and eating and drinking water. Those are all important things.
Right.
But yeah, that's the kind of woman I'm looking for if I were to run a business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good to hear. You've given us so many nuggets today, and here we are talking to you about broadcasting. We're talking about your work with sports teams, and all of these things that are coming out of your mouth are able to be transposed into every single, basically really every aspect of life, every aspect of business. They're not even real estate specific. Obviously, we're on a real estate podcast, which this is helping everybody with all of their with their businesses, but also things that you could change about your normal daily life. Cut it with the ego, everybody. Do you guys hear what she's saying? This is gold, right?
I feel like maybe because I work on TV and maybe I see what I don't want to be like. And I'm like, don't be like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, we have an event to get to. Yes. We're gonna head down to Delray as soon as we wrap this up. So I've got one last question for you. And I usually ask this. We ask this of all of our guests. And it's always about asking about a hidden gem in South Florida. Oh. Obviously, you just rolled into town. You have not been here before. Yes. We're not going to get a hidden gem in South Florida. But a lot of our real estate conventions go out happen out in Las Vegas.
Oh, sure.
So maybe you could tell us about, we all know the Las Vegas Strip, but maybe there's a hidden speakeasy. Maybe there's, tell us about a little hidden gem in Las Vegas that if we come your way, definitely have to check it out.
Okay, so north of the Las Vegas Strip, which is really just a few minutes north of the Strip, is this really cute neighborhood. It's called the Arts District. And it's my neighborhood, and I love it because it is. It's very artsy, and there's a lot of breweries and coffee shops and restaurants. But there's one restaurant that is my absolute favorite in Las Vegas, Esther's Kitchen, in the Arts District. It's like impossible to get a reservation. So just show up and hopefully you can get in. But it's really good Italian food, really good cocktails. One of my favorites. And I've been to a lot of restaurants in Las Vegas, on the Strip, off the Strip. Yeah. But if you want to kind of have a little bit more of a local feel in Las Vegas, go to Esther's Kitchen in the Arts District. And it's the best food. Their pasta, their pizza. Delicious.
My mouth is watering.
I know, I'm hungry right now.
Okay, well, Paloma, thank you very much for being with us. That was absolutely awesome. Super excited to have you on. And for all you guys that are listening or watching, you heard it right here. Go check out Esther's Kitchen next time you are in Las Vegas. And you and I are going to head down to Throw Social and get you up on stage so everybody can hear exactly what you just told us. We're going to see you live in just a few.
Oh, thanks Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us. We'll see you guys right back here next time on RWorldTalk.